The 1,650 people that Trump has pardoned are just people that have significant roles with him personally.
What you think about when you're born.
That's not even the total number. Yeah.
Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer.
When you combine these new pardons with the pardons and commutations given to January 6 defendants and Trump allies who testified in cases involving the president across his 2 terms, Trump has now pardoned more than 1,650 people who played as significant roles in matters involving him personally. That's about 84% of his pardons. It says Trump has otherwise been remarkably stingy with his clemency powers when the matters don't involve him or his allies.
We won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race.
Let's see if we can get going.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Oh, hold on. Welcome everybody. I am Wilbert, and this is Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry I'm a little bit late tonight. I woke up sick as fuck this morning, dude. I don't know if it's where I'm getting old or what, but I got like, depending on what I eat the day before, like I have legit digestive issues with it. Like I had Japanese for the first time in probably a couple years. That's what Mariah wanted for her anniversary. And this morning, I woke up with, like, indigestion. Like, I could feel, like, vomit at the back of my throat as soon as I fucking woke up. But after I take, like, an antacid and, like, usually, like, a gas relief thing, I'm good in a couple hours. So, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I didn't feel great this morning. Late arounds almost all fucking day until I had to go pick up Liam from school. So, there you go. I'm getting old, I guess. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for being here. If you want to support the show, do that at the link that the mods have. It is the Just Quick Tools link if you want any of those links, including PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, and Dono Clip. Thanks for hanging out. What's up? What's happening? What are you guys doing? The video I just had open, I want to see what this is. Is this Adam Calhoun addressing Ryan Upchurch? I'm not sure, but we're about to find out. Hold on. Oh, my chat went down. What happened? Reload chat. Okay. Looks like it's back, maybe. Yeah, chat's back. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what this is, but we're going to try it out.
All right, guys. Hi, friends. I got a lot to say in this video. I don't have a script. I'm just gonna say how I feel. Before I even get into that, if you didn't know, I dropped a brand new album called ACAL Forever. In the very first comment that's pinned in this video, there'll be a link where you can just click the link and it'll take you right there. We got number 2 on iTunes. We got to get number 1. So if you buy the album, thank you. If you can't afford the album, you can listen to it for free. And let's not forget what I said before we left for tour. When I get home from tour, I will be making my last videos, my last posts. I am done with the fucking internet when I get home from tour. And here I sit on the fucking internet. And here's what I'm gonna do moving forward. I'm gonna finish this year strong. I got a bunch of music videos I gotta drop every single week. This album that's out. And then when January comes, I have to fucking leave the internet. Right?
I was hoping he was going to say something about Ryan Upchurch because he said he's done addressing it, and I saw that in the closed captions. Like I said, I was done with this, but it might not be. It might be about him and his life or some shit.
Motherfucker, I think you highly underestimate the amount of damage I've done to myself, dedicating the last decade of my life to this career. It's all the working guys out there. When I was working, if I watch some guy on the internet talk about this fucking bullshit, I'd be like, man, shut the fuck up. No one cares. Work harder. You're damn right. I don't expect anyone to understand it because I'm having a hard time understanding. I know this. I need to find my happiness again. I need to find my sense of humor.
It looks like YouTube's working.
I was a funny motherfucker. I need help. I'm gonna say something that's not. I've been going into sessions and talking to a lady, and I need that. I gotta keep doing it. I have to leave to go do all these things to fix what I've damaged over the years. I don't expect anyone to understand. Like, what are you damaged? What do you mean?
Why are you so embarrassed about therapy, bro? He won't even say it. Like I go to a lady where I talk to her and she helps me with things. Just say I go to therapy.
I gotta keep doing it. I have to leave to go do all these things to fix what I've damaged over the years. I don't expect anyone to understand. Like, what are you damaged? What do you mean? Motherfucker, I gave everything I got, showed you guys my whole fucking family, my whole life, made tons of music, and then I put it all out there to be judged. I know, that's part of the fucking job. What are you saying? You coming back? You quitting? Here's what I'm saying. Your boy needs some fucking help. Your boy needs to work on himself. I gotta leave, so if I ever do come back, I'm the best version of myself. And maybe when I do leave and I find that happiness and I'm able to stop and enjoy all the things that you guys, without you guys helped me create, I might just stay gone because it feels good to just live my life normal again. And let me make this very fucking clear. I am not
So you guys made me rich and famous, and now I'm going to go play with all my toys.
famous. I am not better than anyone watching this fucking video. I stand shoulder to shoulder with y'all motherfuckers. So help me. Help me finish this year strong. You guys too. You finish this fucking year strong. Don't wait till January to start your fucking new journey. Fucking let's finish this fucking year strong. Then I gotta go take care of, I gotta go back out into the real world, into real life without this. I'm already in the real world life every day, but with this, I need to go out there and leave this motherfucker on the fucking, throw it in the garbage. That's what I'm talking about, okay? If anyone didn't understand this video, if I fucking, I'm sorry, I tried my best. I'm a fucking guy. I grew up in time, you shut the fuck up, you fucking, rub some fucking dirt on it and fucking go fucking work, shut the fuck up. I love you all. I have the greatest supporters in the fucking world. Some of the coolest people I've met. They give you the fucking shirt off their back and they spend their last dollars on a ticket to come see me or on an album, whatever the fucking case is. Fuck you, Mike. All right, well, don't go nowhere. I forgot the main fucking point. I forgot. the amount of time and hard work that I've invested into my career, a lot of things fell to the wayside, and a lot of people that I love, I missed things.
So you guys made him rich and famous and wanted him to keep going, but now that he's got that money, that security and got money rolling in and secured his home and toys and all this stuff, he's like, fuck it, I'm leaving the internet.
And they missed me. And I'm not doing it anymore. I sacrificed. And we all.
It's one thing to say, like, I've got to take time to be with my family, my friends, and blah, blah, blah. It's another thing to say, I don't think I'm ever coming back because of the stuff that you allowed me to be able to get and enjoy. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
I'm saying, like I said, I'm not doing it no more. I'm not going to miss first steps, first words. I'm not going to miss none of that shit, man. It's not worth it in life. Your family, God, family, the most important things. All right, I'm fucking done. Thank you.
What a fucking loser. Anyways, that wasn't what I expected it to be, but we're here now. Have you guys seen the video going viral about the girl that gets, arrested for fleeing and evading, and then her dad chews her out, and all these fucking boomers and shit are like, yeah, more dads need to be like that. Yeah. Fuck, if more parents were like that, we wouldn't have a bunch of criminals running around. But really, the girl didn't do anything wrong. Let's see. What's the guy's name? Hold on just a second. I'll find it. The civil rights lawyer. I couldn't think of it. I kept typing in Constitution lawyer. The civil rights lawyer did a video on it. And it's really fucked up, honestly. Like, this girl did not do anything wrong. The guy is dressed in a white shirt with, he looks like a goddamn mall cop. And he was standing on the side of the road doing like this. And she didn't stop for him. But she's also an 18-year-old girl. Who the fuck would? Check this out. This is wild. And people are cheering on the dad for having this very, very, like, he may need, there may be like, there may be a situation. This reminds me of my niece, by the way. I'd be pissed. But there may be a situation where this dad needs to say these words to this daughter. Like, you're entitled, you're not being respectful. That'll get you a long way in life. You really fucked up. You need to get to a place where you can show respect. Should it be in front of the cop, out in the open, right here in their fucking garage, yelling at her on speakerphone, and then the body cam? Dressing your daughter down like this for what's eventually going to be the world to see? I don't know. Here we go.
Do I look familiar?
Kinda.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Do I look familiar? And she said, kinda. I don't think she knew what the fuck was going on here.
You're under arrest for fleeing and eluding law enforcement.
Several of you
You can see her face right there. Like, she has no idea what he's talking about. Look, she's 100% confused. You can judge yourself by the quality of people who are proud to call you a friend. Overwhelming. I've had an amazing evening. I was invited to go with my bestie and a load of our friends for his 60th to Thailand. Oh, shit. I put a post about being a bit skint and then had a steady flow of Hell yeah. Good job, Billy.
Eluding law enforcement.
I hope you had fun.
submitted this video, wanted to know what I thought about it. It was recently posted on the Sergeant Pepper Spray YouTube channel, which I will link below.
We can go look at those comments there. Hold on. Duplicate.
Hi. Do I look familiar?
Kinda.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for fleeing and eluding law enforcement.
Sergeant Pepper Spray. Well, we're going to watch the video too, but I want to read some of these comments because everybody's like, this dad, this guy knows how to straighten people out, blah, 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 whatever. It's fucking insane, dude. The department needs a better uniform. Bro looks like mall security. Finally, a real parent. Very impressed how her dad reacted, and he was right. The cop looks like a security officer for the estate. He was parked out. Exactly. If I pass this guy, I would think he works in this. Like, why the fuck would I stop for a security guard for a gated neighborhood? He's got his golf cart over here behind my head. He's got this little gate. Like, fuck you. The cop was in no hurry to hang up that phone call. I love the mother of the friend. She's embarrassed, but also she's living for this tea. When the dad mentioned the nursing degree, it all made sense. Civil rights lawyer posted his take on this video, showing a lot of civil rights violations. Yes. To be 100%, he looks like a security guard. Lol. The two girls' entire identity, two girls' entire identity in those shorts. To be fair, that's a sexist. You know, like the only thing you're valued at is your vagina. But she's obviously getting a nursing degree. We hear that later on in the video. But anyways, keep watching this video. The dad's really being a fucking dickhead, and this is bullshit. The whole charge is bullshit.
The title of the video is Cocky Teen Driver Gets Chewed Out by Dad After Fleeing Police. It was posted 9 days ago, already accumulating 3.8 million views. And basically the video is about this dad confronting his 18-year-old daughter who had been caught by a police officer, and dad is the hero, and it's all sort of mocking and humiliating this 18-year-old girl.
You're being cocky, you're not even being polite, you're not even using manners.
Yeah, this has been her the entire time, sir.
An important part of YouTube videos is looking at the comments. I was immediately kind of shocked by the comments here. Very impressed with how her dad reacted, and he was right. Finally, a parent. She can't believe she's being held accountable. Love her dad. It's amazing to see how fast her attitude changed after her father talked to her. This is why fathers are needed. The world still has some hope with a parent like that. Her dad is the greatest of all time. She better be thankful for having someone like him in her life and try to be/do better. After watching it myself, I'm actually shocked at not only the behavior of the cop who was involved here, but also I'm shocked at the behavior of this so-called dad.
That's all on body cam. I've been trying to be respectful to her, but
Right, I don't get
Like, this guy's getting off on this. Like, this guy's enjoying that him and another grown-ass man are tearing this girl apart. He's like, it's all on body camera. I've been trying to be nice to her the whole time. You know, this is how she acts.
it. Like, so you just totally just screwed yourself inside and out for what you just did.
And welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel, where my goal is not just to show you outrageous
Right,
body cam videos,
like she's not there.
things that people have
And she didn't do anything wrong. Like, there's so many violations in this video. I understand the dad doesn't know that, right? All he knows is what the cop told him.
done, but to protect and defend your constitutional rights. Please join me in that mission, not only by subscribing, but also sharing this footage, by liking it, by commenting on it, so that as many people as possible see it. As also the dad of a teenage girl, I'm actually pretty disappointed in the behavior of this father.
So why didn't you pull up?
This should have been a private conversation. This should have been a private conversation for sure. And maybe she does need to hear these things. Like, why the fuck you driving so fast? You know, you need to have manners. You need to do this. You need to stop, blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't have been with the cop teaming up on her, acting like, talking about her like she's not there. And at some point, it's got to be, well, we need to see the proof. We need to see the body cam. Are you sure this is the way it went down?
Over at the time when he waved you down to stop. Why didn't you stop?
I mean, I sort of expect that from a police officer who looks like this and talks like that.
that's all on body.
The guy doesn't even look like a cop. Wait till you see his fucking boots he's got. He looks like a security guard. These weird ass patches. Yeah.
Cam. I've been trying to be
He's hanging outside the security gate. He looks like a security guard.
respectful to her, but
Right, I don't get it.
But I actually have
That right there.
police
How they're teaming up on her. Listen to this.
officer who looks like this and talks like that.
that's all on body cam. I've been trying to be respectful to her, but
Right, I don't get it.
But I actually
I've been trying to be respectful to her, but
have a way different view of this video, and I really feel sorry for this girl, and I'm really pretty pissed off at her father. So this incident just happened on October 3rd of this year. This happened in Volusia County, Florida, involving the New Smyrna Police Department, and specifically involving this police officer, and his name is Scott Riera. It all started with a completely unrelated investigation, a hit and run outside this gated residential community in Volusia County, Florida. Officer Riera is talking to this witness to the hit and run alongside the highway outside.
all right. So this road behind this guy, see the guy in the green shirt? See this main kind of road? This is obviously a gated community, right? Right in front of us. But she's going to come down this main road, okay? She's going to be passing a car, and maybe she was speeding or whatever. But the cop is just like, no car, no golf cart, no lights, no nothing. He's just like,
This gated development. By the way,
also, there was no continuous pursuit. You know, cops can follow you. And different states have different regulations on what continuous pursuit is. Let's say a cop passes you on the interstate and you're doing double the speed limit. And by the time he flips around, you've already got off an exit or whatever, and you're driving off, and maybe he catches you, right? And he's like, I know that was that car. But maybe he doesn't see you for 20 minutes or for 10 minutes. Maybe you go through town or go to McDonald's, get something to eat there, then you're leaving and see that cop again. There's very specific rules around this. Continuous pursuit, because how can he prove that was actually you? You know what I mean? Like, if he didn't get your tag, what he says, he saw you from the other side of the interstate doing 120 or whatever. Like, there's rules around this. for very specific reasons that cops just don't profile. Well, I'm pretty sure it was a white Mustang or whatever.
His police cruiser is not there. It's not visible to passing cars. It's actually, if you look closely, parked beyond the gatehouse of that residential development.
See, his cop car is way inside here. There's no way she sees that from the road.
So I have the officer's actual police report, and he says that while speaking with this witness, standing close to Pioneer...
I would have stopped. A bunch of cars aren't all stopped. There's no cars that are stopping. There's 0 cars stopping.
Trail Road. He said, I heard the sound of a loud altered exhaust system coming from the east of my location. I turned to look in that direction. When I did this, I observed a white Ford Mustang actively passing another vehicle at a high rate of speed. The Mustang was passing this vehicle in a no passing zone and appeared to be traveling well over the speed limit. From there, I began walking towards the roadway and
All right, so she did pass a car on this road.
signaling for the Mustang to stop.
Here, that's as far as he can, right? So he walks out and just does this hand motion. I would say she's probably more concerned with this car right here, but...
Stop. I entered the asphalt shoulder of the westbound Pioneer Trail travel lane, signaling for the Mustang to stop. I did this by holding up the palm of my hand and facing it towards the oncoming Mustang.
Think it meant to slow down, yeah.
I did this in a continuous manner to alert the Mustang to stop. As the Mustang approached me, it was not slowing down and still traveling at a high rate of speed. The Mustang then...
His excuse is, I wasn't going to go out all the way in the road because as fast as she's going, she'd have ran me over.
Sped by where I was signaling for it to stop. After it passed me, it did not begin to slow down, but instead sped up. I then proceeded to run to my patrol vehicle and attempt to stop the Mustang in a marked patrol vehicle. I boloed the area in my patrol vehicle, but was unable to locate the vehicle on Pioneer Trail. A short time later, I was driving through the Coastal Woods subdivision. While doing so, I observed the Mustang parallel parked at the intersection.
They're going to say that they're trained to do speed by pacing or line of sight or, what is it called? Adjacent background markers or some shit, like where you look at a fence post and
of Neverland Trail and Armenia Court. I exited my patrol vehicle and approached the Mustang.
All right, so this is like 10 or 15 minutes later. After he finishes that, tries to chase her down, can't find her, whatever. 10 or 15 minutes later, I can't remember from the body cam. So let's see, 10:53, 10:53, 10:45. So almost 10 minutes later. He just happens to find the car that he thinks is the car.
After it passed me, it did not begin to slow down, but instead sped up. I then proceeded to run to my patrol vehicle and attempt to stop the Mustang in a marked patrol vehicle. I boloed the area in my patrol vehicle, but was unable to locate the vehicle on Pioneer Trail. A short time later, I was driving through the Coastal Woods subdivision. While doing so, I observed the Mustang parallel parked at the intersection of Neverland Trail and Armenia Court. I exited my patrol vehicle and approached the Mustang. The Mustang was unoccupied and there was no one around the vehicle. I felt the hood of the Mustang and it was still warm to the touch. I began canvassing the area. I first went to the residence of 2793 Neverland Drive. The garage door to the residence was opened and there were people in the garage. I asked the people in the garage if they knew who the Mustang belonged to. They stated that it belonged to a female who was at the residence.
Do you guys know whose white Mustang this is?
Tell her to come out.
Yeah, can you have him step out?
And that she had just arrived
So I think she's not at her house. She's at her friend's mom's house.
at the residence. I asked if they could get the female and have her come to the garage. A short time later, the female walked into the garage from inside of the home.
Hi.
The female approached where I was standing. I proceeded to ask her, do I look familiar to you?
Do I look familiar?
Kind of.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
After this, she was detained for further investigation.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for fleeing and eluding law enforcement.
What?
I walked out, flagged you down, told you to stop, and you rapidly accelerated away from me. What? Yes, ma'am. It's all about.
So she has no idea what he's talking about.
Because you just
Nope, I walked out of the road and was telling you to stop.
You walked out on the
Yep,
road. You-
correct. And I was telling you to stop. It's all on body cam. You're under arrest for fleeing and eluding law enforcement.
Wait,
Come here.
Can I just call her mom?
Yeah, you call her mom. Is that our phone right there? I am a law enforcement officer, fully uniformed, telling you to stop because you're passing all those cars in a double yellow. You passed multiple. It doesn't matter. You still fled law enforcement. And then you rapidly accelerated as you went by me. You didn't stop, didn't do anything, didn't even hit the brakes.
No, I was going to speed limit. Like, close.
No, you weren't.
Can I talk to someone else?
It was just me there. I don't know who you want to talk to. Who do you want to talk to?
Maybe your supervisor?
Yeah, he's on his way. You're more than welcome to. That's fleeing and eluding law enforcement. So, go ahead.
And he's bumping this up, right? Like, obviously, she passed in a no passing zone, and he observed that, and she admitted to that. That's a ticket, right? He's getting her on felony evading. As if he was behind her in his car, he hit the blue lights, and she fucking ran. I've been trying to be nice to her, but you know how she is.
Do you have anything on you? Because I have a female that's going to come search you.
No.
Yeah.
All right, we're just a few minutes into this video, and what is the major problem, constitutionally speaking?
Look at him. Does that look like a cop to you? I would think it's a security guard. What the fuck are these boots, bro?
that is screaming at us right now. Where is this police officer? He is literally inside the garage of this house arresting this girl. He doesn't even yet know who she is. He doesn't know whether she lives there, whether she does not live there. What he does know is that she is inside that house. He ordered her out and arrested her, and now he's inside her house. Police violate the Fourth Amendment when they effect a warrant.
I hope she got a good lawyer and didn't let her her dad talk her into like pleading or some stupid shit.
Arrest at the threshold of a home where they lack probable cause and either exigent circumstances or consent. There's a U.S. Supreme Court case called Payton versus New York that says that police officers cannot arrest people at their homes without an arrest warrant. And does it matter if it's the guest at a home or a resident? No. There's a 1981 U.S. Supreme Court case, Stiegel versus United States, that says a police officer may not conduct a warrantless search of a third party's home in an attempt to apprehend the subject of an arrest warrant, absent consent or exigent circumstances. And there's also a 1990 U.S. Supreme Court case, Minnesota versus Olson, that says even overnight guests at a home have a reasonable expectation of privacy at the home they are visiting and therefore are afforded full Fourth Amendment protections to that home while they are visiting. So here what the officer does know is this is a home, he does not have a warrant, and yet he's inside this home arresting this girl. His report does not mention anything about him getting a warrant prior to arresting this girl at this residence. Therefore, unless the government can establish an applicable exception, this is an illegal, unconstitutional arrest. And the only applicable exception that I could see would be exigent circumstances. Now, nobody has called the police from this house. There's no emergency occurring inside the house. The only possible defense to this is what they call a hot pursuit. Under the hot pursuit doctrine, a police officer may make a warrantless entry into private property to arrest a suspect.
So if you're like right on their tail and they run into a place, you can chase them in.
Who is attempting to avoid arrest by fleeing into private property. But in order for this exception to apply, the arrest must have been, quote, set in motion in a public place. And furthermore, there must be some sort of chase that has occurred, which involves the immediate or continuous pursuit of the suspect from the scene of the crime. Here, there was no immediate and continuous pursuit. We can see from the timestamps on the body cam that it was about 10 minutes later that this cop is driving around and he happens to find this Mustang parked at this residence. He did not pursue it to this residence. He said he put out a bolo and he's driving around looking for it and he finds it. Furthermore, the conversation between this girl and the officer, there's no indication that there was a chase at all. He's just saying he tried to flag her down and she kept going. There was no police chase. There was no immediate and continuous pursuit. Therefore, there can be no hot pursuit doctrine. There can be no exigent circumstances exception through the Fourth Amendment here. There can be no doubt that this guy standing in the garage arresting this woman, he had to have a warrant. And so everything he's doing is illegal. And then it just gets even worse. This girl is under arrest inside this garage. This is all illegal. Ultimately, it's going to have to be thrown out in court. The officer is claiming that she committed this felony offense of fleeing and eluding, which is chicken shit. Everybody knows that she did not commit that crime. There was no police chase. First of all, he looks like a mall security guard. There was no...
Yeah, how can you be eluding when there's no chase? It was just a cop throwing his hand. He reminds me of that cop that like flipped the fuck out on those two teenagers and had them crying where they like couldn't turn left, so they had to like go around and turn around, and he was like flagging one car and they thought he was just flagging that lane and they were in the far lane and went by him at a normal rate of speed and he chases them down and cussed them out. You guys remember that video? It was like a boy driving and his little sister on their way to school.
Police car with lights that she's running from. It would be a perfectly reasonable thing not to stop on the side of the road for somebody in a white shirt and some YMCA knee-high boots on some creepy looking man. So we all know she did not commit any felony. Yet this cop is recording on his body cam inside this garage illegally. Now this conversation between this young girl, her brain's not even fully developed, she's barely an adult, this important conversation, private personal conversation with her father. And this cop's trying to get her on a felony when all she did really at best was speeding, maybe a couple other minor traffic violations. But this cop is just a real...
Passing on a double yellow, I think he claims.
And he
speeding potentially. If he can actually say what her speed was, you know.
Her life. And her father, who was supposed to protect her, to guide her, perhaps he hasn't done that. I don't know. She does seem spoiled or entitled with this Mustang at 18 years old that she clearly can't afford without her parents. But in any event, this is way more important than that. This is about the rest of her life. So her father now...
The way her cop dresses her down with the help of the deputy is wild.
...participates in this cop trying to ruin her life.
I know, I agree. Fleeing law enforcement is pretty ridiculous. I absolutely agree. And I'm also towing your car and putting on a 30-day hold. So just letting you know.
That's just out of spot, right? I'm also towing your car and putting on a 30-day hold, just so you know.
They're arresting me for fleeing and eluding. I passed in a double line, and then an officer came. I said, I'm getting arrested because an officer said I was fleeing and eluding. I was driving on. He came out and ran in front of, like, he half ran in front of my, like, he didn't even fully run in front of my car. And then now I'm getting arrested for it because I parked in because he said I was fleeing. But he wasn't even behind me with lights on or anything.
Doesn't matter. Don't need to be. I absolutely.
He wasn't behind me with lights on or anything. Doesn't matter. Don't need to be. I absolutely don't need to be. I'm a fully uniformed officer.
Don't need to have light sirens activated. I'm a fully uniformed law enforcement officer telling you to stop.
Do you have your laptop in there? I did. I don't know.
Can I talk to him?
Yeah.
Officer Riera.
Okay.
Hey there, it's Officer Riera, New Smyrna Beach Police Department.
Do you think it's cool?
What officer who?
Officer Riera with the New Smyrna Beach Police Department.
Am I
Hey, Riera.
Okay, good. So, literally, I'm in the middle of the road. I'm a fully uniformed police officer telling her to stop.
In the middle of the road, fully uniformed police officer. In the middle of the road? Was that where you were at?
Not only does she not even apply the brakes, she rapidly accelerates away from me to the point where I have to jump in my car, which was parked several hundred feet away because I was investigating a hit-and-run crash. And now all of a sudden she's gone nowhere. So then I obviously find the car and make contact with her. So I don't need to have lights and sirens on behind or anything like that. I'm a fully uniformed police officer. I was given clear hand signals to stop, and I have a witness who was the victim of my hit-and-run crash who watched the entire thing. So of course, that meets statute requirements for fleeing and looting. I don't mean to be a jerk about it or anything like that, but that's where we're at. Okay.
Even he knows he's being an asshole. Before he sees how the dad's going to react, he's like, I don't mean to be like a dick about it, but that technically meets the requirements for evading and eluding. But then when the dad jumps in, he goes full out.
How far did she go from when you tried to gesture her to stop?
Over a mile. So she didn't try to pull off the road down the street, nothing like that.
And I still think the dad's confused about this because he says, so how far did she go after you tried to, conduct a stop? Over a mile. I think the dad in his head is picturing the guy in a car, like following her for a mile.
Was she able to see her?
Oh yeah, I am in a. She just told me I saw him in my uniform, so that's all I need. And I know she saw me because I was about in the middle of the road to where before she would run me over, so I didn't want to get ran over because she was already doing 65 plus. So, I have everything I need for fleeing and eluding. It is what it is. So she can take it to court.
Here, let's read fleeing and eluding. It is unlawful for the operator of any vehicle having knowledge that he or she has been ordered to stop such vehicle by a duly authorized law enforcement officer willfully to refuse or fail to stop the vehicle in compliance with such an order, having stopped in knowing compliance with such order. Willfully to flee in an attempt to elude the officer, and a person who violates this subsection commits a felony of the 3rd degree. So any cop at any time could throw their hands up, and whether you see them or not, you're fleeing or eluding. Any person who willfully flees or attempts to elude an law enforcement officer in an authorized law enforcement patrol vehicle with agency jurisdiction markings prominently displayed on the vehicle with siren and lights activated commits a felony of the 3rd degree. Any person who willfully flees or attempts to elude a law enforcement officer in any authorized law enforcement patrol vehicle, those are included in that one I just read. Those are about patrol vehicles. There's only one. The first one technically covers not in a vehicle. It is unlawful for the operator of any vehicle having knowledge that he or she has been ordered to stop such vehicle by a duly authorized law enforcement officer. She has no idea that he's a cop. To willfully refuse or fail to stop the vehicle in compliance with such order, or having stopped in knowing compliance with such order, willfully flee. So once you stop, you can't flee afterwards.
Going to go to court no matter what, like that's what I have. It meets statute requirements. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Okay. Can you put her back on the phone?
Yeah, you're on speaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's where it gets bad.
All right. So you'll probably be in jail for the weekend then.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Because you're not gonna get out right away. Why were you going that fast down?
I passed one car. Because he was going like 30, and I passed him. My daughter's phone.
So why didn't you pull over at the time when he waved you down to stop? Why didn't you stop?
Because it wasn't like he was. I really didn't even know. I just saw a person in white and black, and then
Goodness. Oh,
had one hand out, and it wasn't like.
Just resubscribed for 39 months.
Thank you for the resubscription. 39 months is a long time. Over 3 years. Thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate it. I'm looking at the cops. Most of them are in black. Why is this guy in white? Is it because he does maybe just traffic or something? Almost all of the New Smyrna Police Department. Hold on. Maybe I need to type in Florida. Yeah, almost all of them is in black. What is this white shirt bullshit? You've been hiding when I was in a Trump phase.
like he was in front of my car like that. He like literally was from the side, like completely the side. I wasn't going 60. That's a hearsay. I was not going 60. From 30 to 60. I can't just do that when I'm in the other line going over to the other side.
Oh, I see him here. Hold on.
Over and found my car and pulled.
It's all on body cam, sir. I was almost in the roadway. The reason I didn't go all the way in the roadway is because she was going so fast I didn't want to get hit by her, because obviously I could see that she was not slowing down.
It's just what he thinks.
Is this, finally she gives up. She's like, fine, just whatever fuck he says. That's that douchebag right there. Wait, or this douchebag. They both kind of look the same. It's this one on the right. That douchebag right there. They almost look like they're dressed different, like they're motorcycle. Like this is a cop. Big badge, big everything. What the fuck are these guys? This is obviously a bicycle cop in the shorts and tennis shoes. Shorts and tennis shoes, bicycle cop. I wouldn't think it was a cop. If it was me, I'd be like, meh.
Okay.
I'm actually an instructor for speed measurement, so smart.
I'm not laughing.
I wouldn't be laughing at the felony. You committed a felony. Don't laugh at that.
So now he's joining the dad. He's like, you're being such a cocky right now. And the dad's like, are you laughing? Don't laugh. It's a felony. And he's like, I'm actually the instructor for speed recognition. So smart, real smart.
Yeah, I mean, you're being cocky. You're not even being polite. You're not even using manners.
Yeah, this has been her the entire time, sir.
I know. That's
There you go.
It's just totally ridiculous.
Teaming up on her. This is disgusting.
So you don't understand what you just did.
I do.
Oh, you do you? Really? Like, how do you understand what you're doing? Because you're being a smartass the whole time to me, too. So I can only imagine how you're speaking to the officer.
It's all on body cam. I've been trying to be respectful.
Again, this might be a conversation you need to have with your daughter or son or whatever. Not in front of people like this.
To her, but
Right, I don't get it. Like, so you just totally just screwed yourself inside.
Always, 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 always. Like, you need to stand, especially the way cops are doing now, and there's like this big sting about fake DUIs and shit in Tennessee and, people being railroaded or whatever. You just need to take your daughter's side until you get more details. Just be like, I'm sorry this happened to you. We'll figure it out. And if it's a conversation you need to have with them about passing and speeding and blah, 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 that's when you have it, when you figured it out. But to jump on the bandwagon and join him dressing down your daughter at her friend's house, like this is crazy.
And out for what you just did. Big time. Because now your car's going to get towed to the impound. You have to pay to get that out, too, now.
Yeah, it's like 30 days.
yep, there's going to be a 30-day hold on it. There's going to be a 30-day hold on it.
So your nursing stuff is going to be screwed up now, too. Because you don't have
Watch
no
him.
damn manners.
Watch this fucking prick throw his hands up. The dad's like, now your nursing license is going to be screwed. Could have told her that.
There's going to be a 30-day hold on it. There's going to be a 30-day hold on it.
So your nursing stuff is going to be screwed up now, too. Because you don't have no damn manners. And you know what? It's going to take something like this
He almost looks like a motorcycle cop, but he's not in a motorcycle. Right, those boots.
to fuck you up now. And now you're done because you're so goddamn arrogant and cocky the whole damn time. When you could talk to the officer normally, when you did it, you had to be a real jerk.
No. Now dad's lying here, right? Could she have talked to that officer in any nicer way? He said, do I look familiar to you? And she's like, yeah, maybe. And he said, turn around, put your hands behind your back for fleeing and eluding. The cop's like, well, the dad's like, well, you just been nice to the cop. You might not be in this situation. What? Why didn't you just smile and agree with him?
I know you can't, but
Look at her face. That's horrible.
So you just totally screwed your whole shit up, nursing degree, everything. You just did it because you're being invincible. But guess what? You're going to spend a weekend in jail, and you'll see how invincible you are. And you know what? It might teach you a lesson now, maybe. You know? Because you just don't listen. You don't listen. It's finally gone okay.
Again, I'm not arguing that maybe she is a dickhead kid and doesn't listen, but this is a conversation that you have in private. I don't even care if I was having this conversation with my son and the cop jumped on board. I'd be like, shut your fucking bitch ass up. You don't know my son. It's not your place to say any of this shit to my son. Are you kidding me?
Did you hear, Dad?
All right, so when you get to jail, you get one phone
Or
call.
just follow the instructions.
So you better figure out who you're going to call, to get you out of jail. So when you call your mom and start bitching at her,
She's done talking to her dad.
she going to make you sit. You call me, I'll make you ass sit too because I'm not putting up with this shit. You
Yeah, isn't this something you could have just flashed your tits or maybe sucked a little dick and got out of this.
You got an attitude. It's got to change. It's got to change. It's ridiculous. This might be your game changer.
The dad doesn't even realize that she is completely disengaged and done.
You know, you could have been probably polite to the officer from the get-go, and you probably wouldn't be in the situation you are.
You could have been polite to the officer from the get-go, and you wouldn't be in the situation you are right now. That's not true. He literally shows up, says, do I look familiar to you? You're arrested.
Right now. And I bet if you ask the officer that, your cockiness is probably what put you in that position right there.
Then he shakes his head. Your cockiness. Now, again, we can go back and watch it, but he just rolls up and says, do I look familiar to you? And arrests her.
Guarantee you.
All right, she's getting searched right now by a female deputy. Do you have anything else for her? If not, we're gonna load her up and do some paperwork. Okay.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Yes, isn't that just great parenting?
And says, thank you, sir.
What a great dad. All of you guys in those comments.
Oh, right there's a real cop. Right, obviously her. And then just off camera,
Do some paperwork. Okay.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Yes,
it's like a real fucking cop standing here. That's a real fucking this dude. No goddamn way. Like maybe if I saw this guy like on a bicycle at a beach with a white shirt or so, he doesn't look like a cop.
isn't that just great parenting? What a great dad.
He even says, you better find somebody, because if you call me or your mom with your shitty, cocky attitude, we're not going to bail you out. You better find somebody. No wonder she's done fucking speaking to this piece of shit.
If only more dads were like that. I wonder if the dad has since changed his mind about all of the things that he said. Because looking up the case, it's actually still pending. I believe she has court tomorrow. What is she charged with? She's charged with 1 count of felony, fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer. So this cop, aided by prosecutors in Volusia County, Florida, are still currently trying to convict this 18-year-old girl of a felony.
These are the people that graduate, do their things, and then never speak to their family again, right?
Make her a convicted felon. No criminal record, no actual police chase occurred. They have nothing better to do than make her a convicted felon. And all thanks to Dad. Thanks a lot, Dad.
So why didn't you pull over at the time when he waved you down to stop? Why didn't you stop? You're being cocky. You're not even being polite. You're not even using manners.
Yeah, this has been her the entire time, sir.
Now, it's at the very early stages, and one would think that when the actual prosecutor takes a look at this, that he or she would come to their senses and dismiss these charges and not try to make this girl a convicted felon.
Especially if this video right here gets enough traction. Make sure you go like it.
Shocked if that did end up happening, especially in light of the fact that her arrest was illegal, that her statements were obtained illegally.
Even if they give her a ticket for passing on double yellow, right? Or even speeding, but to chase her down like this and give her a felony and treat her like that, fuck this cop. Fuck that dad.
Mention the fact that I didn't hear any Miranda rights being read. She was in custody and she was being asked questions which elicited potentially incriminating information. All of this evidence against her should be thrown out anyways. And all they should be left with is this.
The very first question was to elicit information about an arrest. Do you remember me? Do I look familiar? Whatever he said.
Cop claiming that he tried to stop her and she kept going. So if there's no statement from her, a reasonable doubt would be, well, maybe she didn't even see him. Boom, case closed. But anyways, we know how Florida is. Yet another Florida video showing our law enforcement officers there hard at work fighting crime. I will link the video at Sergeant Pepper Spray in the description below. I will also link the relevant authorities. If I hear anything else, I will do an update, and you can follow along by subscribing both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can also follow.
Imagine being a 19-year-old girl thrown under the bus by your own father.
Fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
Dad, in 20 years, why does my daughter never visit me? He actually left the investigation of an actual crime, the hit and run, to chase down a teenage girl. To hell with my investigation, I have to catch that driver that didn't respect my authority. She will always remember this as the biggest breaking point in her relationship with her father. If it was my kid, first words would be, tell him you want a lawyer. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Don't say shit in front of the cop. We will figure this out. I'm on your team, not the police team. Right? I'm on your team. Well, if only we had more fathers like this. Woke is dad mentality, I guess. Then we had this wild video. I guarantee you this happened somewhere within 5 nautical miles of my current location. Almost guaranteed. This is just too close to home right here. These are when you this is when you basically you hit retirement as a meth head, okay? You're a retired meth head. You're still a meth head, right? You just now you just do it for pleasure instead of business. This video is wild, dude. I can't believe people put this shit on the internet. And at the very end, there's two. The kid who's talking is the son. Okay, this is a mom and dad. And at the very end, we see that he has 2 friends over in his bedroom. Watch this.
Won't fit in our goddamn. Fucker won't fit in our goddamn room. She's trying
That's
to
a
put
couch.
this couch in our. You're doing.
This couch isn't going to fit in the room. That's what Look, how are you going to fit this couch in the room? Look, we have enough furniture. I don't know why you're trying to hoard this in there.
So she wants to move the couch into her bedroom because she thinks that people are breaking into her house at nights and sleeping on it. Damn it, it keeps muting.
I do what I want to.
Sorry. Every time I back up, I hate that. Hold on. There's a way to fix it. There's another. There it is. It's that one. Okay, let me back up.
To put this couch in our. You're doing.
This couch isn't going to fit in the room. That's what Look, how are you going to fit this couch in the room? Look, we have enough furniture. I don't know why you're trying to hoard this in there. Mom.
It's my goddamn house. I do what I want to with.
I've been in this position where you're over at your friend's house. You just realize that his parents are fucking crazy meth heads, and you're just like standing in the room, staring at the wall, acting like you don't hear nothing, you don't see nothing. Fight. There was an argument. I had no idea. Oh, that was strangulation. My bad. I had no idea. I thought he was helping her with that extension cord.
My goddamn house.
Well, now you pissed off my dad.
Yeah,
and now he's running.
Listen, he's outside. First of all, who stole the blower fan from the job site? You guys see this giant fucking blower fan that's just sitting in their living room? Bunch of scrap copper everywhere. He's outside revving his truck up loud to show that he's mad.
With my goddamn house.
Well, now
Look at that fan.
pissed off my dad.
Yeah,
and now he's
Look at that fan. Washing machine just sitting over here in the corner of the living room. You know, normal.
Now he's running the truck out there.
Now he's got my damn.
She can't even speak. A goddamn switch plate hanging on for dear life. Look at those fucking switches. They're just barely going to pull through, boys. Look at that. And look at all the patched holes. I grew up in these houses. I grew up as a friend. My parents are really good, but they fucking worked all the goddamn time. And I just fucking wandered around, right? They were just always at work. When I went to my friends' houses, of course their parents were home because they were all meth heads. I grew up in these houses. Not my own, but theirs.
Oh,
Oh, God. Look at that switch plate. Oh, no. Now he's got a chainsaw. Look at that America water. Nothing says America water. Like a couple meth heads, a chainsaw, and a couch.
All right.
You want it in the bedroom? I'm gonna put it in the bedroom.
You want it in a bedroom? I'll put it in a bedroom. I brought the chainsaw in. Let me set my Marlboro down on this wash machine we have in our living room. There's wires hanging out of the ceiling. Look at this cross. Centered up on the door frame. Perfect. That actually might be a cut in the drywall. God damn, dude. It's bringing back so many childhood memories. My parents would be like, how was Billy's house? I'd be like, yeah. Nothing happened. It was cool. Nothing happened. I don't know.
That's the only way it's in there.
Why does Billy's mom take her medicine through a needle? I've never seen that in someone's bathroom. I thought they had to do that in the doctor's office.
It's not me cut that motherfucker up.
All right, chainsaw's off.
So you're saying you want to replace these couches because you believe that people are coming in our house and sleeping on them?
Get my couch the
You think people are coming in our house and sleeping on them?
Get my couch the fuck out of this goddamn house.
Nobody.
Get it the fuck out of here. Get my couch
Wait till you see the last little clip of this video. It's so funny.
and get it the fuck out.
Yeah, get all your shit out of here.
Everything, all of my shit, get it the fuck out of this goddamn house.
That guy's worked in the sun so long, his neck is actual leather. Like you could make a billfold out of it.
Goddamn house.
Look at that. That's solid leather, dude. Who are the two friends?
I can't even have company over.
For real, we might have to go somewhere.
Damn, I'm sorry. I can't even have company over. For real, we might have to go somewhere.
The motherfucker.
One more time. I won't pause it this time.
She's trying to put this couch in our.
That was me. That was me. Like, oh, it's fine. Is there any way that we could just walk in any direction at all away from here? Where you want to go? Just anywhere. I like it here and all, but maybe I just want to go for a walk. Just in any direction at all, ever.
The motherfucker won't fit in our goddamn room. She's trying to put this couch in our. You're doing.
That's all, man.
This couch isn't going to fit in the room. That's what
goddamn, man. Just get
Look, how are you going to fit this couch in?
Oh my God, was that another hole in the wall? Hold on. Yeah, look at that hole.
How are you going to fit this couch in the room? Look, we have enough furniture. I don't know why you're trying to hoard this in there.
I do feel bad for the son.
It's my goddamn house. I do what I want to with my goddamn house.
Well, now you pissed off my dad.
Yeah,
and now he's running the truck out there.
Now he's got my damn $100 couch. Check out.
I cut that motherfucker in half and then.
All right.
You want it in the bedroom?
The whole time his friends are in his bedroom, just chilling.
That's the only way it's
All right.
in there. It's not me cut that motherfucker up.
So you're saying you want to replace these couches because you believe that people are coming in our house and sleeping on
I
them?
have watched this motherfucker.
Get my couch the fuck out of this goddamn house.
Nobody.
Get it the fuck out of here. Get my couch and get it the fuck out.
Yeah, get all your shit out of here.
Everything, all of my shit, get it the fuck out of this goddamn house.
Man, I can't even have company over.
Oh, wait. Even the dog's hiding in there. Did you see that? The poor dog. Man, I can't even have company here.
Man, I can't even have company over.
For real, we might have to go somewhere.
We had to go somewhere. Dude, that is a wild video. Thank you very much for that. Screaming out wife in the living room while holding a running chainsaw. USA. The friends trapped in the room at the end. Yeah, we could smoke and drink inside, but his tweaker parents get into huge fights. It's not a trap house, it's a trap home. How did this end up in my algorithm? Anyways, proceed. He went out and revved up his truck to blow off some steam. That little blow off led him to the chainsaw idea. Absolutely insane reel pull. The light switch hanging on for dear life. That's what I said. Life is fragile. Handle with prayer. That little bird picture in the background says life is fragile. Handle with prayer. Start a YouTube channel. I'd watch this. This gotta be the white version of a Tyler Perry film. I don't know why I can't speak. Imagine being that old and still doing meth. I was expecting the truck to come crashing in through the front door. America branded water bottles never failed nobody. The holes in the drywall clocks. Happily married almost 30 years and never once talked about divorce. Oh. Did she start speaking in Boomhauer? I didn't understand a single word she said. Who's the decently dressed kid? I guess there's always one in this scenario. Oh, they're talking about that guy. I didn't expect the homies to be there. Cracktivities. We got plenty of room for cracktivities. Is there an update? I need to know if the couch made it in the bedroom. They weren't messing around with this couch. The patriotic water. I don't know if there's an update. I'm going to say I doubt it. In fact, it's probably an old fucking video that yeah, this is just somebody that grabs a bunch of viral videos. This creepy motherfucker, right? Have you guys seen this? This little doll's going viral on TikTok.
Good morning, everyone. Here's Philip and his new cat, Lulu. They've been hanging out on the sofa for a couple of days. And Philip seems very happy.
Creepy eyes follow you around. It's weird. Wait till you see. His eyes are always looking at you.
Aw, look at the cuteness. This is going to be a bond that lasts forever.
Hold on, I'll show you the TikTok account. I kind of want to keep both of those. Let me grab a new one. His name is Philip the Doll. And she makes like creepy content. She bought it off eBay. And she makes some creepy content with it, but the eyes are what wig me out.
Hi, Folsom and everybody else.
Look, it keeps looking at you.
Not moving. It just seems like...
How is it looking at you no matter where you go? Look! It's got this weird dent in its head.
Philip. Hi, Folsom and everybody else. So, I'm out of the shower. Get ready to comb out my hair. Still have a towel on my head. There I am. And can't help but see Philip staring at me.
He wasn't minding his mother. Got it.
He's not that frightening.
No matter where you look at it from, it's staring at you.
This way. But when you look at him from the side, it's like his eye is following me. But it's not. I think. Hey, baby.
Why do I feel like Philip was once a real human? I have no idea.
Hey, everybody.
So sometimes she makes creepy content like this.
Quiet and
She's like, I heard a noise. Oh, it's just Philip.
I heard something downstairs.
I'll check the reflection in a second.
Steps. Got 2 staircases. Nothing. Let's check the back stairs. Oh. Philip.
It's still looking at her, even from this angle. It's like perfect eye contact.
You want to come up to bed? Get Philip.
Someone said, he looks frightened, motherfucker. What about the rest of us? Perfect eye contact from every angle.
You look frightened. You don't like the quiet either, do you? Let's get you in bed.
All right, let's go back and check the reflection. I don't know. We'll look.
So, I'm out of the shower.
Maybe she's trying to make creepy content. I don't know. It is creepy, though.
Comb out my hair. Still have a towel on my head.
I don't see anything. Oh, it's what it is. It's like a that must be like a deep mirror. There's like a double reflection when she turns. Like you can kind of see her reflection doubles up here, if that's what you're talking about. But it's all her.
Hi, Folsom.
We just watched that one.
Look.
I've got some concern about Philip's health. His leg and feet appear to be quite edematous. If I were you, I'd take him to the cardiologist ASAP.
I'm seriously the cutest ever.
He needs a hug. She got little kids playing with that cricky. He's haunted supposedly, but not with me. Story goes that as he was being made, his eyes came to life during a lightning strike by a graveyard, as the lady who made it says. She was waiting for her friend who was visiting a grave. Bought it on eBay for $80. He's made of stuffed paper mache. I always thought he was cute, but my kids hated him.
Sometimes I just
Go into the bathroom, and there's Philip giving me side eye. What up, Philip? Just go into the bathroom, baby. Stop staring at me.
There's this famous story about a guy that was killed. I can't remember what his name was, but he was killed in a shootout. And they kind of kept his body around because this was like back in the Old West days and like a traveling circus and weird shit going on, right? And they kept his body around. Well, then they kind of forget that it's a real corpse. and somehow ends up like in a storage container for years, and then it ends up in someone else's possession. Then it gets loaned out to like a company that's making a movie, and then while they're making the movie, they're like moving him around as a mannequin. Like they think it's a mannequin, and his arm falls off, and they find out it's a real person. What is that? Let's see if we can find that story. Oh God, you guys are going to see. I can't spell mannequin. Mannequin, real body. It's like a famous story. It's all documented because all these companies owned this like through Hollywood and shit. Hold on. It's like a really famous story. Here it is. What's the name? Elmer McCurdy. Let's see if we get a video of somebody talking about it. I think it's MCC, right? Elmer McCurdy. I don't know if you guys may have heard this before, but
I think it's time we talk about when an amusement park in California actually used a real human body as one of their props. This is the story of Elmer McCurdy, and if you haven't heard it already, strap in, because this one is fucking nuts. In 1976, there was a show called The $6 Million Man. Crew members decided to film an episode at Pike Amusement Park in Long Beach, California. They decided to film in a ride called Laugh in the Dark, and this was a dark ride, funhouse, spooky type ride. One of the cameramen actually bumped into one of the mannequins, causing its arm to fall off. He went to pick it up and look inside and said that it looked like beef jerky.
This was a body that they had hanging from a noose. It was a mannequin that they had sprayed with something to make it glow in the dark, and it was hanging from a noose on this ride. The arm snapped off, and then they found a real human bone.
Obviously, it didn't take long for them to realize that that was not a mannequin. They called the police, and it was soon confirmed that that was the body of Elmer McCurdy, an outlaw from Oklahoma. Elmer passed away 65 years prior.
1911, I think.
So he passed away from a fight between him and the police.
Well, it's actually bigger than that. So only a couple weeks after he left the U.S. military, authorities arrested McCurdy and another soldier for possession of burglary paraphernalia, including nitroglycerin. They convinced the jury they were just building a foot-powered machine gun. McCurdy then traveled to Oklahoma, where he joined a gang of small-time outlaws. The Pinkerton detectives published a pamphlet in 1904 about a group known as Yegs. They were an element that grew out of the hobo community. While most hobos traveled to find work, Yegs traveled to commit crimes. In March 1911, McCurdy's group robbed an Iron Mountain, Missouri Pacific train. The heist went according to plan until McCurdy placed a large amount of nitroglycerin on the safe's door. The charge melted most of the silver inside, so they fucked up the robbery. The Yegs often used a large amount of explosives to blow open a safe, and they ended up destroying parts of the building, says Williams. When people say McCurdy was incompetent, that's not really accurate. What he was doing wasn't unusual for the time. It was just messy and imprecise. McCurdy's luck worsened as September 1911 bank heist netted just $150. On October 4th, 1911, he robbed the wrong train, making off with $46 and a jug of whiskey instead of the $400,000 they expected. A reward was issued for $2,000, dead or alive. In the early hours of October 7th, 1911, law enforcement surrounded a barn near Bartlettsville, Oklahoma, where McCurdy had taken shelter. He refused to surrender and opened fire on the officers. He took a shot at me first, said Officer Bob Fenton to the Blackwell Weekly Sun. Then he took a shot at Officer Stringer Fenton. After that, he took 3 shots at Officer Richard Wallace before we opened up. When the shooting stopped, they found McCurdy dead in a hayloft. But McCurdy's story didn't end there, and then this happens.
He passed away. He was taken to a local funeral home, and nobody came to claim his body. The funeral director saw this as a money-making opportunity, embalmed him with arsenic, and put him up so visitors could pay to come see him.
They basically traveled him around as a real-life Wild West outlaw. You want to see a real outlaw like Billy the Kid or something? You pay like a nickel or whatever, and you get to see him.
Cost a nickel, which you actually had to put directly in Elmer's mouth. About 5 years later, a man came by and said that he was Elmer's brother and he wanted to take him home to lay him to rest. The funeral director agreed, and Elmer's body went with this man.
But the guy lied. It wasn't Elmer's brother.
But it turns out that was not Elmer's brother. That man was a random guy.
I've seen that one before.
Local carnival. This man ended up taking Elmer to the carnival to use him as an attraction. They called him the 1,000-year-old man, and they actually required their customers to put their ticket stubs in his mouth before entering. He spent a long time at this carnival, but he ended up getting passed from carnival to carnival over the years until his story was completely lost. He somehow ended up as a mannequin inside of this dark ride called Laugh in the Dark until they bumped into him and his arm fell off. After police found him, they ended up being able to send him back to Oklahoma, where he passed away, and finally had him laid to rest. They had the year that he passed away listed as 19.
He stayed in storage for like 14 years as well, or some shit like that.
11 on his gravestone. But then it goes on to say that the date he was buried was 1977. And this is a true story. The first time I heard this, I did not think it was real, and I ran to Google to fact check it because it is so unbelievable. But that's a true.
I think it's because they embalmed him that way with his mouth wide open. So they thought, well, we can capitalize on this. You got to put your nickel in there. You got to put your ticket in there. You got to put your dick in there, whatever.
Story. That is the true story of an American outlaw named Elmer McCurdy. And if you're still watching and you don't
I guess I'm into mouse stuff too. My bad.
Know me, what's up? I'm Frankie. I talk about all things horror.
All right. Anyways, that was a weird sideshow thing. This is kind of depressing. Who's ready to be depressed?
I make $3.10 an hour, which is the equivalent of $11 in 2025. Combined, my partner and I make around $13,000. The median house price is $64,000, which means for us to afford that, we would each have to work 66 hours per week.
All right, so on minimum wage in 1980, both you and your wife work 66 hours a week. You can afford the median house.
I make $3.80 an hour, which is around $10 in 2025. Not bad. The median house price has jumped to $123,000, which means that my partner and I would each need to work 103 hours per week to afford a median house.
103 hours per person per week in 1990.
I think people forgot about me. I'm making like $5.15 an hour now, which is down to like $9 in 2025. Median house price has jumped to.
By the way, we went from 11 to 10 to 9.
$170K, which means that my partner and I would each need to work 105 hours per.
105 hours per person per week to afford the average house in 2000 on a minimum wage.
Week. I'm making $725, which is the equivalent of $10 again in 2025.
Hell yeah, that's a race.
Median house price has jumped to $221,000, but that actually means that my partner and I only need to work 97 hours.
Only 97 hours a week apiece to afford a house in 2010 on minimum wage.
A week. Still at $725, but it's fine. I also still have my hat. Median house price has increased to $330,000, which means that my partner and I would each need to work 146 hours.
Okay, 146 hours per person per week to afford a house in 2020 on minimum wage.
Per week. Here we are, still making $725, which is the equivalent of $725 and 20. I lost my hat. I have to work 2 hours to afford a shirt from the store that we're boycotting. The median house price has jumped to $420,000, which means that my partner and I would each have to work 186 hours.
186 hours per person per week to afford a house. By the way, we started at 60, which is doable, right? We started at 60.
Per week. For reference, there's actually only 168 real hours in a week.
So even if you worked every hour of every day all week long, you couldn't fucking do it. You and your wife.
There's only
168 hours in a week.
Jumped to $420,000, which means that my partner and I would each have to work 186 hours.
I think they want to take home ownership away and just everybody rent, lease, or maybe even combine it with the company you work for, because that gives the company more control over you. Like if you live in company housing, it's not just about quitting a job, right? The same way it was with health insurance before Obamacare. It's not just quitting a job. You may never get health insurance again. Well, now it's not just quitting a job. You may never find a fucking place to live again.
Per week. For reference, there's actually only 168 real hours in a week.
Like back in the day when they built like Hoover Dam or all the mines and stuff where they had company stores and it'd be like that again. Company slums, company stores, even company currency. And then we have Rand Paul talking about the recent strikes in the Caribbean. He's not very happy.
Secretary Hicks has said he had no knowledge of this and it did not happen. It was fake news. It didn't happen. And then the next day from the podium of the White House, they're saying it did happen. So either
the very next day, they're like, oh, well, it did happen.
he was lying to us on Sunday, or he's incompetent and didn't know it had happened. I think more people are coming around to be concerned about what's going on when you have Lindsey Graham, the Wall Street Journal, and other Republicans saying that the second strike, bombing people who are shipwrecked or are clinging to wreckage, that would be illegal in the words of people who are very supportive of what the president's doing. That's a whole new scenario. So I think we've entered into uncharted territory here. I think there's a broad consensus that it's illegal to kill people who are clinging to wreckage. I think there's still some question whether the initial bombing is illegal as well. I think that you can't really just say, well, we're at war, we're not declaring war, and Congress is not going to be allowed to vote on this, but because we're at war, we can say these people are combatants, we can do whatever we want, including killing them the first time, or if they're still floating around after we've tried to kill them once, killing them again. I think even the administration knows they made a big mistake here because...
By the way, I've watched a bunch of videos, and a bunch of people are like, Dan Crenshaw, like, are you telling me every time I've ever seen U.S. operations in Afghanistan or Iraq to think that we just do one strike on a house and if there's any survivors, we have to let them be? Of course, there's a very big difference between war on land and maritime engagements, obviously.
A couple months later, what did they do? Then they rescued people. But even that leads to more questions. The people they rescued, they didn't prosecute.
Oh, something went wrong. That's weird.
2 people, we scooped up their guns and their weapons and the drugs that were floating on the boat. No mention of any kind of drugs or anything. No evidence, no interrogation. Normally, you'd interrogate people all the way up the line. We just got back from the Coast Guard today. Their overall statistics are that 25% of boats that are boarded don't have drugs on them.
So the Coast Guard, using the same information, the same intelligence, the same everything except different tactics, they board the boats in check. 25%, 1 out of 4, or 1 out of 5, I think he says 21% here in a second, have no drugs on board. They think they got narco-terrorists. They think they got drug dealers. They think they're boarding a boat to seize drugs. And 1 out of 5 of those have no drugs on board. So how many people are we blowing up that have no drugs on board?
We now have specific information from the Coast Guard that of the boats captured by the Coast Guard before we started the Bomb Them to Smithereens campaign, in the traditional sense, when the Coast Guard captured boats off of Venezuela, 21% of them did not have drugs. So the idea that we're just blowing up boats where historically the rate is 21% of them are not even smugglers is outrageous. Hopefully this is going to unify the American people to stand up and say killing people willy-nilly is against the law.
But Senator, what do you make of this? What do you make of the administration?
Let's go right here.
Have you seen any evidence that there were survivors on these boats, on this particular boat? Have you seen any evidence that there were survivors? What intelligence have you seen?
I've been offered no briefings, and I think that
they did intelligence briefings, and they said that they were going to do intelligence briefings to Congress about this. Okay? And when they did it, they only gave the information to people that have already been fucking, you know, sweeping that stuff under the rug for them. Not just Republicans, not just Democrats. Literally, their staunchest supporters is who they gave this information to. That was it. All Republicans, but not any Republicans ever called them out. Not any Republicans ever sided differently than them. It was only their biggest supporters they gave this information to.
It's purposeful because I've been skeptical of this, so no briefings have been offered to me. We are asking for them. We are supportive of the Armed Services Committee looking into this, but this has been very selective in briefings that have been given to people, primarily given to people who are already apologists for the administration.
And do you have confidence in the Defense Secretary at this point?
I'm very, very concerned about an order that would say kill them all, kill them, you know, after they've already been wounded, after they're drifting apart. But for some people, this is distinctly different, the second strike.
The reason that there's a term for it in the military. It's literally called squirters. I know that's kind of fucked up, but when we have a strike and people are wounded and running away on land, they're falling back to other known positions, right? They have access to weapons, intelligence, and a whole apparatus. When they're floating around in the fucking ocean, it's a completely different story. We do not do that.
I think both strikes are...
I think that a YouTube channel I check on sometimes, I rarely agree with him, but we watch him sometimes, is called, let me see. I think it's called Valhalla VFT or something like that. He did a video on it today and was like, every time, like I literally, my job was to call in, you know, air support and shit like this. And he's like, I did this all the time. And every time I was in Afghanistan, we had follow-up. Yeah, that's different. On land is different, right? That's why there's a whole separate section for maritime law.
Actually illegally. I don't think you can just name people and say, well, they've got drugs. Well, where's the proof? That's an allegation. And these people are 2,000 miles away. People don't realize these outboard boats have no capability of reaching America. It'll take them like 20 stops to refuel to get up here. In all likelihood, none of these boats are coming.
Yes. Yes. They're literally like 5 days away. So there was somebody on Twitter today that's like, I lost a loved one to fentanyl, blah, 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 blah. So I'd say blow every drug trafficker up that crosses our borders. Our borders, they're barely in international water off the coast of Venezuela. What do you mean our borders? We have no idea where they're headed to. They're going to have to at least make 10, 15, 20 fucking fuel stops. They're like 5 or 6 days away from U.S. waters. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
To America. It's a completely made up and false sense that, oh, we're at war, we can do whatever we want. But if Congress wants to vote on it, oh, no.
I guarantee you, if one of their kids... all these people posting, I don't give a fuck. When those kids goes pick up a fucking dime bag of pot and is driving home in a local police department, hit them with a fucking Reaper fired from a drone, they'd be like, what the fuck? But these are brown people far away, so who cares?
We're not at war. So they're at war if they can do whatever they want with no oversight. But if Congress were to get involved with oversight, it's not a real war. It's just a war where we name people who we don't like, we call them terrorists, and then we kill them. And then if we see them floating around in the ocean...
Then someone else pointed out, like, my friend died from fentanyl. I say we kill all the drug dealers. Well, fentanyl doesn't come from Venezuela. So then they doubled down and said, I don't care. Cocaine does. And sometimes other drug dealers cut cocaine with fentanyl, and that's how people overdose accidentally and die. Why don't you just tell your friends not to do cocaine? Right? What is the fucking safety factor in buying street drugs? It can't be high.
Then rebomb them. It's a crazy
It sounds to me like you're calling into question other strikes that have been taking place.
He brought in more drugs. He literally, his saying was that they were going to take cocaine and shove it up the noses of the gringos. Like, he brought more drugs than anybody. And Trump's like, oh yeah, I heard that Biden didn't like him.
could be determined to be unlawful. So do you support broadening this investigation beyond that September 2nd strike? And who ultimately...
During the Trump roundtable the other day, they tried to credit him with no hurricanes hitting the U.S.
ultimately bears responsibility? Is it the Secretary of Defense or is it the Admiral?
I think what unifies people is the second strike, and I think that's what's going to bring people together. When you have people from Lindsey Graham to the Wall Street Journal saying that the second strike is illegal according to our the laws of our military contact, even in times of war, it's illegal. So the first question is, are we at war? And if we're at war, should Congress vote? That's the first.
Right. We still haven't even settled whether they're actually combatants or civilians.
That's the first issue. The second issue, though, is even if you accept the first strikes, most people are saying the second strikes aren't. I don't like to see political figures pointing their finger at military figures. Military people take orders, and there's a question about, when they don't take orders, whether things are legal or not legal. But in this sense, it looks to me like they're trying to pin the blame on somebody else and not them. There's a very distinct...
Pete Hegseth uses the term fog of war, and he doesn't even know that term properly. That's not fog of war. Fog of war is like your tempo, your pace, everything that's going on, all the things around you, and you don't know where the enemy's at. Striking a boat and then doing a flyby to see like a damage assessment, and there might be smoke and fire there. Well, we're looking through infrared, first of all, but you identified survivors there. It wasn't like, oh, we blew it up again, and then was there survivors? We have no idea because all the fog of war. That's not even the correct way to use that, but because of smoke and fire. No, you identified survivors and then made a decision for a follow-up strike. That's not fog of war.
Statement was said on Sunday. Secretary said he...
Hegseth's bitch ass is like, that's something you in the media will never understand. Not like us, a soldier. Dude, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
No knowledge of this, and it did not happen. It was fake news. It didn't happen. And then the next day from the podium of the White House, they're saying it did happen. So either he was lying to us on Sunday or he's incompetent and didn't know it had happened. Do we think there's any chance that on Sunday the Secretary of the Defense did not know there had been a second strike? So as a country, are we just going to let people lie to us to our face? We're going to let them kill people who they call enemies anytime in the world. We're going to let them, like when someone is stranded and holding on to the scraps of a boat, put a second bomb on them. I think it's outrageous and should be universally condemned.
Senator, should he resign? Should he resign, Senator? Call for some of these orders to...
So at least Rand Paul's standing up for something that, is... I don't agree with Rand Paul often, but at least he's standing up for something that's right. If this was really about drug interdiction, one, we wouldn't have pardoned the fucking former Honduran president that ran all these fucking drugs or whatever. Two, we would be down there boarding these boats, right? Taking these boats over, seizing the drugs, destroying them the way we do, arresting the people, charging the people, or at least using them for intelligence gathering to do the next one. This is more about he wants a war in Venezuela, right? Why is all air traffic being cut off over top of Venezuela? All civilian, commercial, military, doesn't matter. No air traffic over Venezuela. Is that for drugs? The drugs aren't. Why are we not targeting Mexico, where all the fucking fentanyl comes from at the border? Right? You're not doing fucking kinetic strikes against Mexican fucking drug smugglers at the border, are you? No. Right? This is about Venezuela and regime change, right? And that just the fact that they would keep lying to you and keep telling you those boats have fentanyl on them, and we know they don't. It's not used, it's not manufactured, and it's not transported from Venezuela. So how come every time they talk about these strikes, they say fentanyl, 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 fentanyl? It's not there. It just isn't there. In fact, if we really wanted to get down to the nitty-gritty about it, it's coming from China and India into Mexico, where it's the chemicals to manufacture are coming from China and India. They're coming to Mexico. That's where it's manufactured. Then Mexico's bringing it across the border. They sure as shit aren't shipping it down to Venezuela and then putting it on a goddamn speedboat. I don't know. Trump's wild. I'll let you see this, then I gotta go. I gotta get up early tomorrow, get a burn permit, and burn a brush pile.
I watched that first strike live. As you can imagine, at the Department of War, we got a lot of things to do. So
I watched the first strike live, but then I didn't stick around.
Didn't stick around for the hour and 2 hours, whatever, where all the sensitive site exploitation digitally occurs. So I moved on to my next meeting.
So how long between the first strike and the second strike? Like you couldn't be bothered to stay in the room for 5 minutes for a follow-up strike? But then you're saying the whole thing took a couple hours. That makes it sound worse, you fucking retard.
I watched that first strike live. As you can imagine, at the Department of War, we got a lot of things to do. So I didn't stick around for the hour and 2 hours, whatever, where all the sensitive site exploitation digitally occurs. So I moved on to my next meeting. A couple of hours later, I learned that that commander had made which he had the complete authority to do.
Under the boat, throwing him under the boat.
And by the way, Admiral Bradley made the correct decision to ultimately sink the boat and eliminate the threat. He sunk the boat, and eliminated the threat. And it was the right call. We have his back, and the American people are safer because narco-terrorists know you can't bring drugs through the water and eventually on land if necessary to the American people. We will eliminate that threat, and we're proud to do it.
So you didn't see any survivors, to be clear, after that first strike?
Here we go.
I did not personally see survivors, but I stand, because the thing was on fire. It was exploded and fire, smoke, you can't see anything, you got digital.
Does anybody really think that with the real-time fucking surveillance and drones and shit that we have in the area, that we can't see through smoke and fire? Somebody could, because they identified 2 survivors.
This is called the fog of war.
Yeah, but
that's not the fog of war. Okay, the fog of war is basically it's uncertainty between like command and soldiers about the enemy's intent or capabilities or maybe their movements at the time, just because of the tempo. It's incomplete or maybe even misleading information because the tempo and the stuff going on, and it's between 2 fighting groups. It's not sitting in an office watching a drone and seeing smoke and saying the fog of war, or watching a drone fly somewhere that hacks fog and saying the fog of war. That's not it. That's not the way it's used. That he goes on to say, this is what you wouldn't understand in the media. None of you guys out there understand what the fog of war is. Like he's fucking playing his veteran card.
Talking about the fog of war the morning after this happened. That happened on September 2nd, then on September 3rd. There was no fog of war. You were in complete command. You were in complete charge. You knew exactly who was on that boat. You knew
also, you can't have fog of war without a war.
Exactly when that boat was fired upon. You knew everything, Mr. Secretary, about what happened.
They expect us to believe that they know for sure that they're terrorists, they're carrying fentanyl, they're doing this, they're coming to the United States. All these things, it's this boat, this many people on board. They know all these things, down to how many fucking hairs are on their ass. But then when it's potentially murder, they're like, fog of war. Fog of war, we had no idea.
That day, it wasn't like, there's a fog of war. Oh, were people hanging on? And did I commit war crimes? I'm not.
And why did they give us an edited video? Why did they release the strike edited? Why didn't he show the follow-up strikes under IR when they were sinking the boat?
Sure, because this is what you said the morning after the strike.
I can tell you that was definitely not artificial intelligence. I watched it live. We knew exactly who was in that boat. We knew exactly what they were doing, and we knew exactly who they represented. And that was Tren de Aragua, a
fog of war
terrorist organization designated by the United States.
Yeah, they couldn't even get his little placard right. The S Secretary of Defense or War or whatever.
Trying to poison our country with illicit drugs.
So since he knew exactly what was going on, he will know, as the Washington Post reported, the boat was not hit once. It was not hit twice.
Several follow-up.
3 times. It was hit 4 times when he knew exactly exactly, according to his own words, the day after the event, what happened that day off the coast of Venezuela. 2 of those strikes, I'm sure the Secretary of Defense knows,
little boat,
were to kill the crew and twice more to sink the boat, according to 4 people familiar with the operation. So again, as usual,
I just don't see one direct hit not sinking the boat, right? If that was the thing, to sink the boat, and we couldn't fucking have somebody run over there and fucking snatch up the wreckage or whatever, because it's a navigation hazard. That little ass boat. People don't realize how big the ocean is. You know, first world countries, top military powers have trouble finding other militaries in the ocean. Like, it's fucking huge, dude.
Every day he comes out and every day he says something that is more in conflict with what he said the day before.
I watched that first.
Let's see if we can find that before we go. Why did it bring up, what's the fog of war? That's not what I typed in. I don't know if it'll show it with there it is.
We've only just
Can you guys can't see that, can you? Look at this placard. The SS Secretary of War. I don't know who made it. I thought it was photoshopped. I honestly thought it's photoshopped. It's real.
Gun striking narco boats and putting narco terrorists at the bottom of the ocean because they've been poisoning the American people. And Joe Biden tried to approach it with kid gloves and allowed them to come across the border. Cartels take over community, 20 million people, hundreds of thousands of Americans poisoned. And President Trump said, no, we're taking the gloves off. We're taking the fight to these designated terror organizations. And it's exactly what we're doing. So we're stopping the drugs, we're striking the boats, we're defeating narco terrorists, and we're standing.
And you may say one thing, that drugs coming in through the sea by sea are down 91%. And I don't know who the 9% is.
I'm not sure either, sir.
But down 91% by sea.
We've had a bit of a pause because it's hard to find boats to strike right now, which is the entire point, right? Deterrence has to matter, not arrest and hand over and then do it again, the rinse and repeat approach of previous administrations. This is meant to get after that approach. And I will just end by saying, as President Trump always has our back, we always have the back of our commanders who are making decisions in difficult situations.
By the way, under Joe Biden, the Coast Guard's rate of disrupting drug runs during boardings at sea increased from 2021 to 2024 from 59% to 73% under Joe Biden. We were just doing it the right way. I don't know why you keep coming preaching this net. I don't know. That's a dumb idea to use a net. I think the last time you brought it up, I told you it was a retarded idea. Now we're going to train drones to take a net and catch boats? A net is a retarded idea. I don't know why you keep advocating for it. This dumb as fuck. We have a procedure to do this. It's the Coast Guard. They train in it all the time. This is the second time you brought up boat catching nets. Anyways, Joe Biden actually increased the number of these interdictions on the water. So to say that Joe Biden did it with kid gloves and just said, everybody come in, blah, 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 is just an excuse for them to be blowing up boats. And to get people mad saying, I know somebody overdosed. It was Joe Biden's fault. Several record-setting offloads have occurred during the Biden administration. In November 2025, a single cutter offloaded 49,010 pounds of cocaine valued at $362 million, a record for a single patrol. Another offload in August totaled 76,140 pounds of drugs, a record amounts offloaded at Port Everglades at the time. One Coast Guard post mentioned seizing over 1.3 million kilograms, over 2.8 million pounds of cocaine overall, an unspecified successful drug bust operation in history. While much of the Coast Guard's work focuses on large maritime cocaine and marijuana seizures in the Eastern Pacific and the Caribbean, overall fentanyl seizures across the Department of Homeland Security agencies, including Customs and Border Protection, totaled 40,000 pounds during the Biden-Harris administration, increase compared to any previous administration. The Coast Guard has also surged forces to support efforts to stop illegal entries, interdict drugs, seizing 71,000 pounds of illicit drugs in 1 month late in Joe Biden's tenure. So the statistics don't lie, right? Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. I got to get up. I would go longer, a couple more videos, but I got to get up and get a burn permit and start a fire in the morning. So thank you all for being here. Consider supporting the show. That's how we pay the bills around here. It's not actually paying for itself right now. Oh, before I forget, thank you to Jennifer. She did a donation. Jennifer Winkler bought you 15 six-packs. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's a large donation for one person. But if you want to support the show, do that at the link here and help us pay the bills around here, at least until the economy takes off a little bit better. We're kind of struggling to stay afloat right now. But I just want the show to pay for itself so it doesn't cost me extra money just to run it. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good night. Love you. See you. Bye. Wrong song. Outro.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the forking balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them.
Let's just invent a laser that weaponizes sharks, and then we don't even have to do it, right?
Okay, Scott.
We just have this laser that a drone carries that finds a local brood of sharks and has them attack the drug boats. Duh.
You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believers? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord, head to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip, worshiping drums, cocking beggars.
We can just make a portal gun that warps the drugs, the boat, and the smugglers straight to the local jail. Right? You hit them with this portal, they drive into it, and next thing you know, they're sitting in a jail.
Alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers, cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better
right into the courtroom, that's right.
None yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped them to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16.
Outboard motors are not typically susceptible to EMPs, but I guess.
And saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? It's a stop. Hold on. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously. This is lip balms and alcohol. Oh, give me a. Oh my God. Damn it.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
Round 3. Down goes Nino. Please say it isn't so. Got him backed up on the ropes, trying to ram it down his throat. Now things are getting rocking. He was doing so well. It's all over. Hands on his shoulders, they ringing his bell. You got Frog News Network doing no damn research. They rework and copy on Cox that came first. 9th inning, second string, and they acting like they know hitters. Assholes throwing bullshit, sending runs to the shitter. All this nonsense on my conscience. It's hard to sleep at night. Who the fuck is in my window with this time of the night? These parasites, these leeches, with all their secret meetings, teaching all you fucking cretins about baby-eating heathens. Believing in reason with no meaning.
35-footer.
Bird motherfuckers out here busting the grifts.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
You don't have those guts.
Good night, guys.
You're a pussy wearing aviator glasses in your mother's
Bert's still not back.